Memo bibi akwaba eba Melodies TV so. Is Ankomah one of the astute lawyers ewa Ghana. Now, for people who don't know him, I'm going to show his picture. Me sure so name is Ankomah. Ankomah is not a kid in Ghana, but I'm going to show his picture and I'm going to show you what is going on, right? I'm going to show you what's actually going on between Ankomah inti onuni. Me sure say hu nenim no, we hu no. Na yesi ende o chesi Kevin Taylor enyasem ketwa ewo Ghana. Kevin Taylor baby pim wo Ghana no. This is the story. It's been reported by a lot of media platforms. So say is Ankomah chases Kevin Taylor with judgments in 2.95 million Ghana cedi defamation suits. International say is Ankomah say or say Kevin Taylor deneka 2.9 million Ghana cedis. Na court our koye and wonya judgment. Na o chesi Kevin Taylor wa Ghana enyasem ketwa. That is the report. We are going to come to the report. I'll read why this is happening and all that. But let me give you the timeline of everything that happened. Maybe I know will be in him is Ankomah any Kevin Taylor and Sensem no. Eba ne saying ediye see. Let me give you the timeline of events. They see in 2019. Is Ankomah filed a 10 million Ghana cedi defamation lawsuit against Kevin Taylor and the Loud Silence Media. Because at time na Kevin Taylor akwa video. As a video na Kevin Taylor na ye no, with all due respect, Kevin Taylor show no. Or say is Ankomah any Dubai phobi any MPP for is kimie etagete men's good nana apia mensa. That was the time my MPP4 or mobile and Nana Pia Mensa ye call after Nana Pia Mensa. Now that time Nipa Bakwa no very vocal is Ankomah. And I remember very well say is Ankomah etina I stand to be corrected but what na join news file eso. And I say more he was the first person who made me hear this phrase. Also there is a saying they say if it moves like a duck, it quacks like a duck, and it behaves like a duck, then it is a duck. His Ankomah the man says a statement for the very first time. And his Ankomah was talking about men's good. And Walker say, well, ocean men's good in Yamabia ACC need send your moyana. Not to say kwa yes a men's good crano. Omoye scam. So those were the times and na pia men's and so ayeshe. And Kevin Taylor baby a video. And Oka say is Ankomah any MPP4 ene she tria omo atarget se omo begu na na pia mensa ehu fin. Sa video no go viral. Is Ankomah one penny. Inti no is Ankomah the asem no ekokopie mu ewo court. Inti February 24th 2020 ena Accra High Court judge ana wotena case ni so ye friend Justice Kweku T Aka Boafo o deliver judgment. A judgment no oka say 10 million Ghana cedis na is Ankomah openo. Yentumi nya 10 million Ghana cedis ne mano. Na yebema no 2.9 million. Inti no Kevin Taylor elusu case no. Inti 2.9 million. Inti judge no break it down. Say 2 million in general damages, 500,000 Ghana cedis in aggravated damages, and 400,000 Ghana cedis in exemplary damages. And a legal fees no 50,000. It was said the court also issued both perpetual and mandatory injunctions requiring the removal of defamatory contents and publication of an apology within 14 days. It was said Justice Aka Boafo described Taylor's commentary as cavalier, warning that Taylor did not have the cogence to respond. Despite his bold online persona, it is that time no Kevin Taylor one court. Inti judge nin semu ano kan say na o Kevin Taylor say o ye bema o sorry a wano kate obi de wa ba court wentumi anfa lawyer one back court ni bi. Inti judge no comment no o pass no o to Kevin Taylor emra na MPP wa ba mu judges comment na o mo pass fa na o to na judges nkro mo tan no me nga so mo tan ba na ne hu ye judges ni hi Because judges need now a judgment against Kevin Taylor. No tea and no to people say Bonato. I said the court held that it had jurisdiction even though Taylor was based abroad, because the defamatory content was intended for and consumed in Ghana, where Ankomah lives and works. Inti asema na ebi mo kan say Kevin Taylor wa na abroad chi na wa kan bibi. O dey na o dey never kokota. Fane kokota abroad, and that's exactly what Kennedy Japan did. Onzo no kwa abroad o e no dey Kevin Taylor ko e. But we no na judge na asema o kan say ono dey emfa ne ho. Case no nkrofo a Kevin Taylor kan mo ho asem no e Ghana fo na etie. It is a Ghana for tie dia or no judge no obedi asem no e na judge ni di asem. Inti no it was say June 2nd 2025. So the judgment was formally filed in court records, entry of judgment following procedural formalities. Inti no I say June 30th 2025 Ankomah applied ex parte for substituted service seeking to serve Kevin Taylor, who was outside Ghana, via public notice due to Taylor's prolonged absence from the jurisdiction. August 2nd, 2025, the court granted the order. Ankomah served Taylor with the entry of judgment and penal notice through a one-time half-page publication in the Daily Graphic, thus completing substituted service. In the end, I'm saying, is Ankomah ako file notice ni bibia ende wakako publish e Daily Graphic. Internet no netre say Kevin Taylor when who cry na so see or no be claim say when who cry akwa publish it. Into the current status no and say is Ankomah is pursuing a year enforcement of the judgment, seeking to recover the full 2.9 million defamation a year sikano. Is Ankomah the why na adwin say ni niabre si sikano beje. Now I'll let you know DBC, right, what is actually going to happen. Remember, don't worry, I'll let you know what's actually going to happen. But Mr. say, who tie me? Why would tie me no? I don't know whether today is your first time, but if today is your first time, you know yourself. Why would tie me no? Sebe, she wefu, she send ya wefu aye. Me sure say enya ode. Me sure say what kai pan na wefu ye flat, and the wefu ashase ye kese. Mr. I don't mean to scare you, but the truth of the matter is say we fusha say a problem. I will explain at the end of this video, but we fusha say you are putting yourself at risk. Or risky. You are putting yourself at risk. One way ya stroke able to me the gym. Manya me member, but one way ya diabetes type 2 able to me the gym. Manya me member, but one way ya akomayari able to me the gym. Nini na eyefu kesiye no. Mesrao, me, I was in your shoes. Me call doctor ho. Or de me tum fidie mu. Etre me, enhu se abrantie, wanhwe ya, onkwa, shum. Ti doctor no ema me futu onyama bi amenye. 3 months. 3 months, me fu nini na yeraye, me soteye. Na me di atro book, mesrao, se enim die no. Me di atro book. Book no comment box ni mo. Book no to ase dia wo top your water mesra pe book ni bi na to ma me. Why? Oto book na kenkan. Doctor wo UK ase ni message say book no oto ya wo kenkan ye no. Onyaya nanka Africa fo ni na beto mi book no mo akan, because no doctor no wo UK no akan book no say hey abrantie yi mun follow no ate no obeje mun kwa. Mesrel book no format bia ope bia comment box ni mo. So you bia won pa kenkan ya book no mi ama kenkan e wo twi mu e wo comment box mo. The first comment, the first link my indicate the second link in the comment box. And so in the first comment now, the second link and also my indicating a book no e-book obenya book no e wo phone so and no obetua mobile money na wenya. The third link no a hard copy. Ebi a no pese book no nya wo nsem na wo kenkan. Me share one so comment box ni mo. Click it. Na to. Now, young concept ne so. Intino, let's come to Ankomah today. I see Ankomah chases Kevin Taylor with judgment in 2.95 million defamation suits. Private legal practitioner is Ankomah has initiated moves to enforce the judgment he won against social media commentator Kevin Taylor. Ankomah won his defamation suit against Kevin Taylor with the Accra High Court. I mean, we all know that. On Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, and following an order for substituted service granted by the court, given by Mr. Ankomah, the leave to serve Kevin Taylor with the entry of judgment and penal notice by substituted service by a one-time publication, a half-page graphic publication in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Mr. Ankomah went ahead with a publication that indicates that Kevin Taylor has been served with the judgment. Mr. Ankomah kwa survey Kevin Taylor. Or say the case was overseen by MC Yena Yehu, Yabo Judge Nidin. So let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens to Kevin Taylor now as Ankomah waye no. Now, legal reasoning behind the judgment. Say jurisdiction, despite Kevin Taylor residing abroad. Or say Kevin Taylor resides in the United States, but the court asserted jurisdiction based on two principles. The defamatory content was published online and accessed in Ghana. Ankomah is a resident of Ghana, and the defamatory impact was felt in Ghana. Also, the judge cited Ghanaian case law and international precedents that allow jurisdiction where damage from online defamation occurs, especially in the place of residence and reputation of the plaintiff. Key notes from Justice Akabuafo. Also, the defendant hid in the shadows of the internet and attacked the plaintiff from the comfort of a foreign land with no respect for the truth. Hey, judge see statement here on Mama Kevin Taylor on a serious. Charlie, I say nature of the defamation. The court found that Taylor made false and malicious statements that portrayed Ankomah as a corrupt lawyer, a political puppet, someone involved in criminal plots against Nam1. I say the judge ruled that Taylor did not provide any proof or attempt to defend the truth of his allegations, nor did he appear in court to respond to the sermons. The content was described as calculated to injure the plaintiff's hard-earned reputation, ruthless and unsubstantiated. As the damages and punitive awards, the court awarded 2.95 million Ghana cedi, broken down into as the implication, Ghana can assert jurisdiction over foreign-based defendants. As this case confirmed that online defamation has no borders. If the defamatory impact is felt in Ghana, Ghanaians courts can take jurisdiction, even if the person lives outside the country. This sets a precedent that foreign-based bloggers, vloggers, and digital media platforms can be held accountable under Ghanaian law. And I'm not going to lie, that's exactly what I was about to say. So our court ruling where assertive precedents say, Omo mudidi attempt to say, Chinijo Nasmunia Wamotia Bruche, yes, say, Omo di attempt nintino. So our case we, ama ende Ghana fwe hun say, Chinijo Nasmu, edi attempt grana still ye be to me the Omo court wa ha. Na se ruling ba, Omo di agra wa mwasobeshi. Based on sa precedency. As to whether it is right or not, I don't know. But once a yana do na Ghana for a brochino, if you say, oh, yeah, they were broaching to say this, but our ruling, we know. I don't know whether Kevin Taylor can challenge the ruling at this point. Meaning, Sembrena Chemudia. But what does it mean? Now, it simply means, say Kevin Taylor, ewo Japadi bi Ghana, and I say, our bank accounts, ewo Ghana, ni him say, ebi anisike bi. Owe Japadi bi Ghana yenim se nisike bi ewo mu a, and there is Ankomah ebe to me the court order akwa akoto so ne yaje amano. And samunya mokaya, that's the same thing. Embra aboa papon okasetia Ibrahim Mahama ye oko bank ema aboa papon ne bank account ye freeze ye no. Yes, that's the same thing that will happen. I say while Ghanaian courts can issue judgments, enforcing those judgments abroad, like in the US, requires further steps. Filing the Ghanaian judgment in the US courts under foreign judgment recognition principles, convincing the US courts that due process was followed. Intino, say Kevin Taylor oni Japadi bia wa Ghana ha. Na Ankomah pese o enforces idea we ya. Ene de obe go through process. On to me, enfan konko tale Kevin Taylor Japadi wa brochi ho dabi. Inti ana meka se Kennedy Japan when bra no person see Kevin Taylor no kwa brochi ho. Inti ende se Ankomah se Kevin Taylor ni Japadi bia wa Ghana. Ane Japadi wa Ghana ni dimu. Ne bia o wa brochi ejapade bi wo ho wo ne dimu a de wo se is Ankomah ye ne se obekọ abrochire ho na wakọ akobie case no wo court because US court no mo nji ndi say o Ghana mo court ama ruling ti yen yisu wa hadabi obekọ US court no wakọ akomake an argument ho na US court no ehu ne say okay asemo aso mesi waka no indeed egu hu fin into US court ne there they will go through the process again. I say this process can be expensive, time consuming, and not always successful. Into Omaka, say US there is Ankomah ya say woko ho a obeboka. Na no so no the likelihood say ondi nkunim against Kevin Taylor ewa America na eye high. Into I don't know whether is Ankomah will do that. But Ghana had here when you're the ruling. Into no or no there or try say Ghana ha. But let's see. Basically that's what's going on. This quite interesting, right? Montreal want your comment box nimo. But that's it. And the Ghana for bebre yarea ekuyen a stroke, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Na sa yarea we ni na no. The underlying factor eye adia wo broni friend visceral fat. Now her screen is so we a doctor a website. Now what trust say visceral fat. Visceral fat wraps around your organs, creating inflammation and interfering with organ function. This fat causes a big belly. Now one thing about visceral fat and it's engrofo Rebecca, oh yebenu me bibidru ebema yefu atwe, yebenu me dru ebema mefu atwe, visceral fat no oboa, obi obeka dozo we dru bia obenum na wefu atwe no oboa. Because belly fat no e dru bia ni ho ebetumi ama na akofom. You only lose belly fat when you decide to lose weight. Na me ti hei, mi obi a na first mi obi belly fat no na mi obi visceral fat no na mi obi. Ena ende mini ohwa mefu atwe. Na enyama me ye no eye method bi a me friend no the WWE method. Me dia throw book. Book no comment box ni mo. So open book ni bi ato a. Eno ane se wa click comment box ni mo. Na tre se what to book no. Ana screen so book ni din eye your action plan for weight loss. Na wa click na wa pe book no ato. Ye kan eduro eye duane a ye di. Obi a wo be ka tro so ye pe eduro be ma ye fu atwe bia no me se oboa. Mesrew eduro ye duane e bedi. Nti metre we duane a obedi ni na wo book nim ene nyama e wo se wo ye. Nti no get the book and then live healthy.